If you've ever struggled with setting up video in a large space, maybe a sports bar or a big office, you know the feeling. Tangled HDMI cables everywhere, signals dropping out over distance, trying to get like 10 different sources onto 20 different screens.
Uh,
It can be a real nightmare.
oh, definitely. Those traditional HDMI matrix setups, they just don't scale well sometimes, and the cable runs alone can be incredibly expensive and complex.
Exactly. Well, today on the deep dive, we're going to cut through some of that complexity. We're diving into a pretty sophisticated solution. The WolfPack 1080p 8x16 HDMI over LAN matrix PoE switcher.
Sounds interesting. AV over IP, basically.
Right. And our mission really is to figure out how this system lets you send, get this, 8 HDMI sources, think DirecTV boxes, Blu-ray players, whatever, to 16 different TVs.
That's 16.
Yeah, and up to 450 feet away. All using just a single standard network cable like KT's or CAT-T7.
That distance is a big deal right there. 450 feet over a network cable beats standard HDMI by a mile.
For sure. And we want to unpack what makes it tick, what sets it apart. It's all controlled by tablets, PCs. You can send any input to any output, mix and match however you want.
Total flexibility then.
Totally. But here's where, for me, it gets really interesting. This was the feature that kind of grabbed me initially. It's called Wireless Real-Time Video iPad Preview.
Okay, tell me more. What does that actually do?
So imagine you're sitting there with your iPad, right, or an Android tablet, and you can see little live video windows from all 8 of your sources playing right there on your screen.
Oh, wow. So, like, you can see what's actually on DirecTV channel 101 on input 1 and channel 205 on input 2 before you switch.
Exactly. You see it all live in real time. No more guessing like which input had the game on again. You just look at your tablet, tap the feed you want, and send it to the TV you choose. How cool is that?
That is genuinely useful. That takes a lot of the guesswork out. And it really showcases the power of AV over IP, like you said.
Explain that a bit. What is AV over IP fundamentally?
Well, instead of those big, clunky, dedicated HDMI switch boxes and tons of expensive HDMI cables, AV over IP uses your standard computer network. The same Ethernet network you use for internet, printers, everything else.
Okay.
It converts the audio and video signals into basically network data packets. And this WolfPack system, it's a whole package, right? It comes with the parts you need.
Yeah, the outline mentioned transmitters and receivers.
Right. You get 8 transmitters, 1 for each HDMI source, and 16 receivers, 1 for each TV. Plus, crucially, a managed Ethernet switch.
Okay, a switch designed for this.
Yeah, a specific type. A 24-port 1G IGMP PoE managed Ethernet switch. That sounds like a mouthful, but the IGMP part is really important. It helps the network handle all that video traffic smartly, so it only sends the video stream to the specific screens asking for it instead of, blasting it everywhere and clogging up your network.
Oh, so it's efficient.
Very efficient. And it mentions PoE, which means power over Ethernet. The network cable itself powers the transmitters and receivers, no need for separate power adapters at each end.
Nice. And it even includes a Wi-Fi router.
Yep, that's likely for connecting your control tablet wirelessly to the system, makes that iPad preview feature seamless.
So building on that, it's really about using network tech we already have, but for video.
Exactly. And the benefits are pretty significant. We mentioned the 450 feet distance over seat K6 or 7.
Mm-hmm.
That alone is huge for large venues. No more expensive, long HDMI cables or signal boosters that can degrade the picture.
Right.
And then there's the video wall capability. You can combine multiple screens to act as one giant display.
How big are we talking?
Well, the specs say up to 7x7. That's 49 TVs acting as a single massive video wall.
49 TVs. Wow. I can just picture that in a huge sports bar or maybe like a corporate lobby or a command center. That's serious scale.
It really is. Huge flexibility there.
But what about the viewing experience? Does sending video over a network like that add delays? Lag when you switch channels or between sources?
That's always a concern with network video, but systems like this are designed for it. They mention a 4-frame switching time.
4 frames. How fast is that in real time?
About 60 milliseconds. So basically instantaneous to our eyes. When you switch from, say, input 1 to input 2 on a TV, you shouldn't see any annoying black screen or long pause. It should just switch.
Okay, that's critical for a good experience, especially live events.
Absolutely. And the latency, the slight delay from the source device to when it appears on the screen is also kept really low. They quote 80 milliseconds standard, maybe down to around 50 milliseconds in a special low latency mode.
So lip sync should be fine, things stay synchronized across multiple screens?
Exactly. All the displays should remain perfectly in sync. And here's another impressive number. The bandwidth needed for each 1080p stream is only about 7 megabits per second.
7 ABPs, that sounds surprisingly low for HD video.
It is quite low, and that's the key insight, really. It means you can run lots of these high-quality video streams over your network without bringing your internet connection or other network traffic to its knees. It's efficient.
So, okay, let's bring this back to the listener. What does all this tech mean for you if you're considering a system like this?
Well, fundamentally, it means you can break free from the limits of old-school cabling. You get a system that's flexible, easy to scale up later if you need more TVs, and you can run it across different rooms, floors, even different buildings if you connect the network switches together.
Right, just by cascading standard Ethernet switches, you said.
Exactly, standard networking practice. And there's peace of mind built in, too. Features like VLAN support are important.
VLANs, virtual networks, right. How does that help here?
It lets you segment your network, so you can put all the video traffic on its own virtual line, keeping it separate from, say, your Wi-Fi network or your payment systems if you're in a bar or restaurant. Keeps everything running smoothly without interference.
That makes sense, isolating the heavy traffic. And reliability. These things are often running 24/7.
Good point. And they mentioned these units get tested pretty hard, like 12 hours straight in a heating room at 140 degrees Fahrenheit before shipping. That suggests they're built for, demanding commercial environments, not just consumer grade.
That's reassuring. Okay,
Yeah.
so let's try and boil this down. What were the real aha moments for us looking into this?
For me, number one has to be that live video preview on the tablet. That just seems so practically useful for anyone managing the system day to day.
Totally agree. That felt like a real game changer. My second one would be the power over Ethernet, the PoE. Just one cable to each transmitter and receiver for power and video. That simplifies installation so much. Less clutter, fewer things to plug in, fewer points of failure.
Absolutely, it's elegant. And third,
I think just the overall ease of control. Routing any source to any display or multiple displays just using an app. It takes something that sounds incredibly complex, managing 8 sources and 16 screens, and makes it feel almost, dare I say, intuitive.
yeah, especially since they mention automatic IP and MPEL addressing.
What does that mean in practice? Less setup hassle.
Basically, yes. The system sort of configures the network addresses for all the transmitters and receivers automatically. They find each other on the network without you needing to manually punch in IP addresses for every single box. It handles that nitty-gritty network stuff, which saves a ton of time and potential configuration errors, makes it closer to plug and play.
Okay, so it's powerful but designed to be manageable.
Precisely. Which kind of leads to a bigger question, doesn't it? As we get better at using these integrated AV over IP systems, how does that change what we think is even possible?
What do you mean? Like beyond sports bars?
Yeah, exactly. We see them there in clubs, maybe boardrooms. But think bigger. What about sprawling corporate campuses? University lecture halls all linked together, maybe even aspects of smart cities, managing information displays across large areas. When distributing high-quality video becomes as flexible and easy as managing network data, what new ideas or applications pop up that we haven't even thought of yet?
That's a really interesting thought to end on. When video becomes just another type of data on the network. Yeah, what does that unlock? Something for us all to think about.